Goeiedag! Good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And yet, if you go to my Loving Life 2019 channel, you'll see that South African Airways is now basically history. It's no longer a South African carrier. I'm sure some guy out there in the world is going to take it over and run it from the US or from Australia or from Europe or wherever. But because of black economic empowerment, it will not be run in South Africa. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about how the ANC have totally screwed up South Africa in just a few years. And you know, I would suggest personally that between 1994 and 2004, when Andre Viljoen, who was the CEO of South African Airways, said, "Hey, I'm getting out of here," and he shut off, and he's now with Fijian Airlines running that incredibly profitably. That was stage one. 1994 to about 2004, with the ANC kind of just looking around and saying, how can we make this work for ourselves? How can we make money out of this? And black privilege is not about empowering all the masses down below. No, it's about empowering those at the top. And I think this is going to be the huge problem in the future, and I'll tell you why. I had a fellow on here on my live stream a few weeks ago who said, I have a prophecy. Look, I'm not a prophet, but he is apparently. And he said, the black South Africans are going to start attacking the ANC because they realize that the ANC has been the sole reason for the demise of South Africa. Because those at the top with black privilege have cleaned out the coffers and no one has done anything about it. The idea of a rainbow nation, a beautiful place where everybody could live together in harmony, is a load of BS. Because these black privilege guys at the top, yeah, all they're looking after is number one. And I'm including from Cyril Ramaphosa, the current president of South Africa, all the way down the line, including little peripheral parties like the EFF and of course Julius Malema and Floyd Shivambu and the VBS Mutual Bank fiasco. No one's been charged yet. Isn't that extraordinary? Anyway, let's get back to the story. Government must keep its promises to create a sound and stable business environment and stop paying lip service, Business Unity South Africa said. Well, good luck with that, because the ANC cadres are just out there cleaning up for themselves. This is not about pushing South Africa forward. This is all about me. How much money can I make without anyone actually attacking me? That's what's going on in South Africa right now. And it's been going on that for the last 25 years. Anyway, the business body, which is the country's largest federation of business organizations in terms of GDP and employment contribution, on Tuesday issued a statement on the latest GDP figures. Stats South Africa on Tuesday released GDP data for the third quarter of the year, which showed the economy contracted by 0.6%. This is the second time this year the economy contracted. Guys, it's not rocket science. when you got these ANC cadres with their noses in the trough and they're cleaning up, it's in nobody else's interest but their own. And whether you be black, white, brown, or whatever color you want to think of, these ANC cadres are screwing you. And that's why mayors in Gauteng are now being targeted by the general population, because they've suddenly cottoned on to the fact that he's driving around in beautiful Mercedes-Benz and all this sort of shit, while he's saying that there's not enough money to sort out the problems of sewage. Guess why? Because all that money has gone into his back pocket. These ANC guys running South Africa right now are worse than the mafia, believe me, because they have the government sanction. Booster said in his statement, "Another recession is looming for the country. Very little has happened between the end of September and now to change the trajectory of the economy." Booster warned that the combination of the contracting economy, weak business environment, persistent high levels of unemployment would mean constrained tax revenue, placing more pressure on the fiscus. And guess what? Those little cards that they send out to people who are on pensions or unemployed, very soon, just like South African Airways, they'll put them in when they're supposed to be paid, and they'll be saying, "Bing, sorry, no money." But guess who's got all the money? Yeah, you got it in one. Ramaphosa, a multi-billionaire, through the whole concept of black economic empowerment and BBBEE, where he has become a major shareholder. Now, I am still working on this huge expose on how Ramaphosa acquired $600 million US, not rand, $600 million US to become one of the biggest entrepreneurs in South Africa. And believe me, when I let this shit go, it's going to just... It is an extraordinary expose. It might take a week or two to put up there because I am, as I said in an earlier video on my Love Me Life 2019 channel, moving home. I won't go into the details, but I think you understand why. Anyway, let's go forward. Booster said, a further credit rating downgrade by investor services agency Moody's seems inevitable under the present circumstances, which will further damage South Africa's standing as an investment destination. The organisation further accused government of lip service regarding its promises of working together with business, which it claimed was not the case. And you know why? I have so many people who have great businesses in South Africa who are saying, we're out of here. We're going to Canada, we're going to Australia, we're going to the UK, we're going to New Zealand, we're going wherever. Because black economic empowerment is destroying my company. I'm taking it offshore. And that is exactly what Cyril Ramaphosa keeps pushing. Affirmative action, transformation of business into black hands. And you know what it's all about? It's about him. It's about him. Because he is one of the select few who's going to benefit from that. The majority, 99.9% of black South Africans are going to actually be disadvantaged by that. He is using this whole thing as a complete charade. He is a disgusting piece of work. He makes Zuma look like an amateur. That's my personal point of view. Anyway, Deputy Finance Minister David Masondo, in an address earlier this week, had similarly said it was necessary to implement government's economic growth strategy as a matter of urgency, noting the upcoming budget 2020 and the importance of avoiding a sovereign credit rating downgrade. Well, guess what, buddy boy? It's too late. South African rands are going to go to junk. And for all my subscribers, if you've got money in rands and a fixed deposit, get it out of there and put it into physical silver and physical gold, and you'll probably retain the value of your well-earned income. If you don't, when the rand is put into junk, you'll probably lose about 30% of it. Just like that. Gone. It ain't rocket science. Just Google. Do your own research. Earlier this week, ABSA released its Purchasing Managers Index. A measures of business activity by the private sector showed that business activity deteriorated from the month of November. The figures slipped by 47.7 points. I repeat that. The figure slipped to 47.7 points. That is just shocking. Similarly, the PMI by IHS Markit also declined from 49.4 points recorded in October to 48.6 points for November. Figures above the 50 neutral mark reflect an improvement, while a figure below the 50 neutral mark signals a deterioration. So, you can see the South African economy is going south. According to IHS economist David Owen, the 48.6 reading for November is the second lowest reading in 12 months. He said, most notably, firms cut outputs at the quickest rate in the year, despite demands slowing only marginally. As a result, both employment and input stocks decreased, with companies signaling little expectation of an immediate boost to the domestic economy. He went on to say, with a number of issues facing the country, firms generally place their optimism upon company-led investment rather than stronger national growth. Now look, guys, I'm just saying to you, look, for all those I'm staying people, everything is wonderful. There's this thing about the ostrich, puts his head in the sand and doesn't know what's going on around it. That's where you are right now. South African Airways, as I've said on my main channel and this channel, is the canary in the cage. In the next year, 2020, I'm sure we're going to have a huge amount of live streams with people like General Isaac van Zyl from Boereligion, Marius Rutte, Simon Rutte. There are a whole lot of people who are working with here, okay? And obviously with the white squatter camps, because we want to save that group of people who are facing a genocide through this corrupt, incompetent, absolutely rubbish ANC government. Alright guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, ring the bell for the updates, please like this video, please share this video, and above all, stay safe. Bye for now. And I've got some more insider information coming up soon, believe me.